Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft update video for 1.19.4 pre-release 2, and if you're confused by the thumbnail at all, another reminder that 1.20 stuff is still being developed parallel to these pre-releases. So in this one we're going to see tweaks and changes for both the pre-release and the 1.20 content, and I guess the first thing to mention is that there's no hint of a release date yet, so we'll see more pre-releases or maybe a release candidate soon. So the changes of this pre-release will be brief. First of all, starting off with the crossbow, which now when put into an item display will actually display its loaded status, like is it loaded with an arrow or a crossbow. Previously, this would have just displayed the regular crossbow, and this bug also extends to the new item display entity, which will now display the crossbow correctly depending on what it's loaded with. And as for the other bug fixes, most of them are barely worth a mention. There were a few UI fixes and tweaks and changes, and most of the gameplay breaking bugs were related simply to stuff that broke in the last snapshot. There was also a technical change in this pre-release where mobs that dismount the player when going underwater will now be a part of the dismounts underwater entity tag. So now onto the 1.20 stuff. First of all, the decorative pot model has been updated so that the top of it has this much nicer rim. That means that the texture file has been updated as well. And this decorative pot actually had a unique property where there were certain types of blocks that you could place on top. And so one of the reasons that this has been updated is so that it looks nicer when you do this. There used to be like texture fighting and the border of this could look pretty rough. But as you saw there with the sea pickle, things can look pretty odd depending on which blocks you choose, and not all of the blocks in the game can mix with this thing, but now they generally look nicer if they do. The turtle eggs though doesn't really complement it, but other ones that you see here, they actually mix with this thing really well and give you some ideas to just enhance what you can do with the decorative pots. And there might be more options than the ones that I showed here, but the redesign is designed to support this to make it look a little nicer so you don't have texture fighting. However, over here I've also gathered some blocks that didn't mix with this, and maybe some of these make sense, like what would the redstone be doing, but some other ones like the amethyst cluster could actually look really cool if they could be placed on top of the decorative pot. So since Mojang have officially made changes that support this mixing of blocks, I think it'd be nice if they did a run through of all the things in the game that could potentially mix with this in interesting ways. As you might have saw in here, I had a spruce sapling which you can't place on top of this, but you can put in the pot and then put the sapling in the pot like that. So yeah, it's nice to see this change, but maybe it could go just a little bit further. There have also been some texture changes to the cherry boat with chest, the cherry sapling, and the door. With the door though, it is the icon on the hotbar. It now has a little handle to represent the handle that you can see on the door when you place it in the world. As for the chest boat, it was just some minor inconsistency to make it the same as the other textures. And with the sapling, some of the pixels were just kind of softened up and changed a little. And the pink petals had a slight adjustment too to this flower and a couple of other ones. The changes are just ever so subtle. But there was a detail related to the pink petal that I was unaware of previously that I thought I should mention. You can actually bone meal the ground in this biome and it will grow some of the pink petals. So not only can you bone meal them to get more, you can also bone meal the grass here too. And lastly, for 1.20 we have the torch flower, which now has a slightly unique variated position when put on a block, whereas previously it was just in the very center. And there's always a couple of little details that I miss out on with each of these update videos, so I'm launching the game here just to demonstrate the time from clicking the button to seeing the game load has been dramatically increased. And last pre-release we saw the inclusion of the high contrast data pack. This has also made a button inside of accessibility settings, so you can turn on that resource pack from here. And we have a bit of Minecraft news as well for the 1.20 update, as we're going to learn the name of it this Thursday. Now I don't know if this will warrant making a video, as it could be very brief, but if we have a look here you can see it's going to be 2 words and one of them is clearly shorter than the other. Actually, the gap doesn't necessarily mean it's a break in words, right? Either way, it's a subtle hint as to how big the letters are, and perhaps with that you can wind down the possible options. So if you've got any ideas, what do you think the update's going to be called? Leave a comment down below. While you're down there, leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, well, hey, hit the button and you'll be informed about all the Minecraft news and updates. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.